Hello students, welcome to the another video chapter Refraction of Light at Pane Surface, and our today's lesson will be essential conditions for total internal reflection and refraction and total internal reflection of light rays at different angle of incidence. So students, in our last not last actually, if you check our previous videos, then you can get what is total internal reflection. And today in this video I will discuss essential condition for the total internal deflection. So students, let's start. So first student, let me tell you briefly what is total internal reflection. When light travel from a rarer medium to a denser medium, at all angles of incidence a part of it is reflected and the rest part of the light refracted at the boundary surface. And both of the reflection and refraction occur simultaneously. And on the other hand, when light travels from denser medium to the rarer medium, under certain conditions, like when the angle of incidence is greater than the angle critical angle, no part of the light is refracted, but the entire light is reflected back in the same medium, which is called total internal reflection. Okay. So this is actually what is total internal reflection, and if you try to give the exact definition, then you have to write when a ray of light traveling in a denser medium is incident at the surface of a rarer medium at the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle for the pair of medium, then the light of ray totally reflected back into the denser medium. This phenomenon is called total internal reflection. You can get this definition in any book. Now our topic is what are the essential conditions for the total internal reflection. So here are the essential conditions for the total internal reflection. Two necessary conditions for the total internal reflection: the light must travel from denser to rarer medium, and secondly, the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle for the pair of media. If the angle of incidence is not greater than the critical angle, then light is not totally reflected. Okay, some part of the light ray will also be refracted along with reflection. So light must have to denser medium to rarer medium is one of the conditions, and the angle of incidence must be greater than the angle of or critical angle for the pair of media. These are the essential condition for total internal reflection. Acha. Now go to the next topic, refraction and total internal reflection of light rays at different angle of incidence. So from this figure, the figure shows that the refraction of light rays from a point source A kept in a denser medium to rarer medium at different increasing angles of incidence. So for the ray AO, this is the ray AO, the angle of incidence is 0. You can see that there is no angle between the normal and the incident ray, and the refracted is as a OA dash. Okay. For the ray AP, this is AP, the angle of incidence is I, is less than the critical angle, and it is partly reflected as PB and partly refracted as PC. Okay. And the angle of refraction R, which is greater than the angle of incidence. Okay, as you know that it is the refraction is actually occur denser medium to the rarer medium. Achha, next for the ray AQ. Okay, here angle of incidence is equal to the angle critical angle for the pair of media. That means I is equal to C. So it is partly reflected as QB dash and partly refracted as QC dash. Okay, the AQ is the incident and partly refracted as QC dash and partly reflected QC dash and partly refracted QB dash. Okay, so here the angle of refraction R is equal to 90 degree. You can see that as this is the angle, this is the refracted ray, and the angle between the normal and the angle of refracted ray is 90 degree. Now for the ray AR, okay, the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, so it is totally refracted So at an angle of refraction is R is equal to I, you can see that. Okay, that means total ray of light coming back again in the same medium. So no refraction is occurs here. So from this diagram you can understand how the refraction and total internal reflection of light rays at different angle of incidence is occur. So the above phenomenon of refraction and total internal reflection can easily be demonstrated with the help of this diagram, and all of you have to remember one thing, that the total internal reflection is occur only when the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, okay, for the ray AR. Okay, so that's it for today's video. In our next video I will discuss total internal reflection in a prism. Thank you. Please subscribe our channel.